right, you ready for part two? I'm so excited to do the rest of these. This is Ghibli films paired with their book. And if you haven't seen any of these movies, highly recommend. If you haven't read any of these books, highly recommend. Just to remind you of the rules, I cannot pair any book to their inspiration. So, for example, Arrietty, it's based on the borrowers. Can't pair the borrowers with Arrietty. And I am only pairing from my specific library. So, if there's a better pairing, please let me know in the comments. I might not own it, I might not have read it. So, please let me know if there's a better pairing in the comments below. So, let's get started with The Cat Returns. So, we did Whispers of the Heart last block, but we did not do Cat Returns, which is its sequel or weird midquel. So this one is very off the rails. It is very like, I don't get what's going on, but this random character who has no connection at all has to save the world kind of idea. So I'm trying to not use the word vibe as much this video. But yes, The Cat Returns is definitely off the walls kind of humor. So that is very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's very much, some people just don't like the jam of like, I don't get it, but you're not supposed to get it. So that's very much The Cat Returns and very much Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It is crazy humor. It is crazy rules to the universe. And yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, definitely. All right. The next one is said Arrietty. It is, I think, The Adventures of Arrietty. I have the picture here, so you can correct me. So this one is based on the borrowers. It's basically little people are hiding in a house and they get discovered, and it's really, it's like a small story, but it feels big. It's like small characters but in a big world kind of thing, and that's why I paired it with Triss, which is one of the Redwall books. Really, any of the Redwall books would match, but Triss specifically is a character who starts off in a very small place. She's just a slave on an island who's never really seen anything, and she escapes, and then she discovers how big the world is. So that's very Arrietty. She's just lived in this one house, and she's had her own little adventures, but then she goes outside of the house and has even bigger adventures. So that's very Triss in the Redwall series. But again, any of the Redwall series would have matched with this book. It's hard to match a book with a movie that's about another book. But this is the rules that I set for this commentary. All right, the next one is one of my new favorites. It's pretty new and it is absolutely beautiful. As a mathematician, this one was very special to me because it's about an engineer during World War II, and it has one of the most beautiful love stories ever. And in a lot of the film, he is married and their marriage is very beautiful. So that's why I picked Anne's House of Dreams. In Anne's House of Dreams, they are married, they are together, and they are adorable, and that's why I picked this one for The Wind Rises. It is very much also the same, where the husband is kind of off doing his work and the wife is home and being that support system. That's very, very beautiful and very cute, where she is there, she is his rock, and so that's very much like Anne. Being at home, but always Gilbert's rock and stay. And I love that. I love that kind of relationship. All right. The next one, I have things in the wrong order, which is fine. The next one was the one that was the hardest for me out of all of them, was Ponyo. I haven't watched Ponyo in so long. It's probably my least favorite Ghibli, to be honest. At least out of this 16, there are a couple that I didn't put on the list because I've either not watched them or they're just not the best. But Ponyo is probably my least favorite out of all this list. It is a retelling of The Little Mermaid. And that is just really hard to pair a book to, other than the book that it was based on. But again, it's like everyone takes The Little Mermaid and makes it a kiddie book, when the original was like horrifying. So I kind of wish that someone would like make a movie of like the real deal of like all the craziness that actually happens in that book. But I don't have that book, and I'm not allowed to pair it with its thing. So this one was really hard, and I changed it at the last minute. So I say that Ponyo is like Tress of the Emerald Sea, where you have a character who is in a new world and sailing and discovering new islands and that kind of thing. So that's like the best I could do. And there is a cute love story too. So that's the best I could do. It's not really the same. I don't have anything that has the same vibe as Ponyo because it is a very weird movie in a good way, but it's not my favorite. So Tress is the one that I picked, but again, you probably have a better recommendation, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Then I have Howl's Moving Castle. This was also difficult because again, it's its own book, and I can't pick that. I also don't own it, I just have it on Kindle. But I chose Stormfront or any of the early Dresden Files. It doesn't have a mystery, but it's definitely a world where witches and wizards are just like there and accepted. And it's definitely like a weird romance, basically. So that's what I picked, Dresden Files. I couldn't really pick between the first or the second or the third, but it's definitely like early Dresden Files, not later Dresden Files. Later Dresden Files, the world really expands, so it's not as much like Howl's Moving Castle. But it's definitely like the wizard against the world kind of thing, which is like Howl's Moving Castle. All right, another one that is based on a book, and I even own and have read this book, is Earthsea. I own and have read Earthsea. The movie is based on several books pushed into one, but there's a reason for that. The books are very slow, and it was really hard to get through the first one. But I really should read the second and the third because I think they're better and they're faster. But Earthsea, I really enjoyed the movie a lot, and it is a tale of revenge. And so that's why I picked Rage of Dragons. Definitely the motifs are very different because Earthsea is high fantasy, not in our world. Rage of Dragons is not in our world either, but it's much more similar to our world. But the revenge story and the main characters kind of remind me of each other. They're very like immature and not handling their anger correctly. So yeah, Rage of Dragons also highly recommend if you've never read. It is fantasy based on African legends. So that is my heart, my African roots. So yes, please read this if you have not already. And the last two are very special to me. Castle in the Sky is, I believe, the first one I ever watched. It was my best friend growing up's favorite, so we watched it over and over and over and over again. It is very, very cute. It is basically a little adventure, and I love little adventures. So that's why I chose The Hobbit, just your average, everyday boy in this, man in this, hobbit in this, that is just a normal person living where he's always lived, and then he's called away because of something. And that is very much these two, where it is a little person going on into a big world and trying to be the hero, when that is like not in his roots. Or is it? So that is very much The Hobbit and Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky definitely has more of a steampunk kind of era feel to it, which is not The Hobbit, but the main characters kind of remind me of each other. Alright, and then the last one we have is one that's very special to me. It is a movie when you're down. I highly recommend watching. It just lifts you up in spirit. It just reminds you that there's good in this world. Is Kiki's Delivery Service. It is beautiful, it is peaceful, it is little problems that the main character goes off into the real world to be a big girl now, and it's just very, very small but very, very beautiful. And I probably was a little bit too on the nose about this one, but I picked Equal Rights, where there's a new witch being trained. So a little bit on the nose, but this one has a lot of travel, and so does Kiki's. And it is a little bit of a smaller book, a smaller setting and everything. This one's a lot more funny than Kiki is, but yeah, just small town vibes and learning to be a witch, which is very, very cute. And so yeah, that is all the books for my Miyazaki films. Please tell me if you have a better pairing in the comments below. I'm still trying to work on reading more books, so there are still some famous ones that I haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, tell me if you have a better pairing. I would love to hear about it. But all these movies are just so close to my heart, and it's basically what my childhood was made of. So, and reading is just so special to me. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, what you disagree or agree about, and I will see you next time. Bye!